ANC in KwaZulu-Natal will this morning outline the outcomes of its special Provincial Executive Committee meeting. In a statement, the party says they remain encouraged by the manner in which branches of the ANC and regions have managed to discuss their leadership preferences. Former Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize and Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma are among the leaders that are tipped to contest the party's top 6 positions in the ANC's National Elective Conference later this year. Well, let's listen in now to that special sitting of the Provincial Executive Committee.
Gigawatts comes from coal-fired power stations, with the remainder generated from renewables, nuclear and peaking power facilities. The roadmap further lists among the Eskom challenges of generational capabilities mainly to backlogs, poor performance, low reserve levels, and insufficient coal stocks and frequent use of substandard coal. Look that. That's what that document that was released by the Department of Enterprises in 2019. Interestingly, the roadmap document observe the future of coal in South Africa, that South Africa is endowed with substantial coal deposits, which have historically been a cost-effective source of primary energy. That's what that document of the Department of Public Enterprise says. Coal will remain important for future economic growth and industrialization and the lifetime of Eskom's coal-fired plants. That's what the document says. Then what is then the current problem facing Eskom? Simply, Eskom is facing leadership and management deficiencies, from its governing body being the board and the head of administration in the form of the CEO, Mr. Andre de Ruyter. What lacks at Eskom is the development of a clear performance management system that is aligned with the SMART principle. Eskom lacks specific targets that are clear, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. The country cannot afford to continue with the current situation. The board and the CEO must resign, and the president, working with the relevant minister, is requested without any delay to start a process of appointing a new, skilled, most importantly, well-experienced chief executive officer for Eskom, who has an experience in electricity generation. The load shedding has cost the country so many jobs. It has stolen so many opportunities for South Africans. Something drastic has to be done, and it has to be done now. It will be done this month. Then on national leadership preference for the national conference, where I know your interest is. You don't worry about Eskom or worried about load shedding. You just hear that doesn't affect your mind. What affects your mind is what is the pronouncement. Yesterday, the ANC had a special meeting convened by the Provincial Executive Committee. As stated yesterday, the ANC peace in KZN remains encouraged by the manner in which branches of the ANC and regions have managed discussions on leadership preferences. The robust and democratic discussions were anchored under the theme Festival of Ideas, held from 19 September 2022. We pointed out yesterday that the approach of the PEC towards its special sitting held yesterday was an indication that leaders of the movement are elected by branches. We understand that 2022 is a special year. It is the 55th National Conference of the ANC, which will be held in December. We reiterate our position that is the year where all of us are involved in deep reflection about the journey we have traveled since the last elective conference held in Nazareth 2017. In our collective quest to build a democratic, prosperous society which occupies place in the table of other nations. As we stated yesterday, central to building of a democratic and prosperous society is the leadership that should be elected by branches of the ANC. The outcomes are linked to a democratic process announced weeks ago, which allowed ANC branches in the length and the breadth of our province to discuss national leadership preferences and came out with a consolidated majority and the overwhelming view what the branches of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal think we should constitute the national leadership, in particular the top 6, or the so-called known top 6. As the ANC PEC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, who have been mandated by the special PEC meeting, and the ANC branches in particular, to overwhelmingly and ambiguously announce that this is a popular view of our branches in the length and the breadth of our province. That the branches of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal are proposing that in the position of a president, they support Dr. Zweli Lawrence Mkhize. In the position of deputy president, they support Comrade Paul Mashatile. In the position of a national chairperson, they think Comrade Stanley Mathabata, who has been a chairperson of the Limpopo province for the longest time, can do better now at national level with that experience he has accumulated over the years. They also believe that Comrade Phumulo Moswale from the province of the Eastern Cape, who has served in various capacities, both as a chairperson of the Eastern Cape and also as a Treasurer General of the South African Communist Party over the years, can now occupy that position, who is also a member of the National Executive Committee. They also believe that Comrade Nomvula Monkonyane, whom we all know, Mama Action, can be best served the country and the ANC in her capacity as a Deputy Secretary General. On the province and the position of Treasurer General, the branches and the PEC mandated us to lobby provinces to make sure that at least we put a female comrade who's young, who's energetic. We must start discussing with provinces and various regions of our country. These positions are not cast in stone. We are not fixated. Neither are we stubborn. We are open to persuasion by various provinces of the ANC, because we fully understand that this is a national conference. It's not a KZN provincial conference. The leadership of ANC in KZN is subjecting itself to some form of persuasion and can also be persuaded. This therefore gives us a basis on which we as a province, we can start a formal engagement with other provinces of the ANC with the intention to persuade them and be persuaded by them. And we can assure all ANC members in KwaZulu-Natal and the country as a whole, we will go to this engagement with open minds, and we shall agree and accept what is best for the ANC and our country. Also, we call upon our members and supporters that we still have a president, who is President Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, until 16 December 2022. We will have to accord our president the respect and the dignity he deserves as the head of our own movement. As we stated yesterday, central towards building a democratic and prosperous society is the leadership that should be elected by branches of the ANC, and the people shall govern. We shall engage other provinces with high level of mutual respect, with an understanding that there's no small or big province. The importance is in the quality of the contribution that a province brings to this discussion to better the lives of our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Nopala. That was the statement from the Special Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC. We will now allow members of the media to interact with us in a form of comment and questions. We are going to start this side, and then this side, and then we'll end this side. So this side, I can only see one hand.
Well, certainly an interesting briefing there coming from the African National Congress in KZN. That briefing there led by Bheki Mtolo, Secretary of the ANC in KZN, essentially saying that the branches in the province have spoken, and according to what the branches have said, their preferred top 6 goes like this. Lawrence, who we know for many of us as Zweli, Mkhize, Paul Mashatile, Stanley Mathabata, Phumulo Moswale, Nomvula Monkonyane, and one more for the Treasury General, but we certainly will be bringing you as they start sharing those names as well, coming out of the various provinces. It certainly is interesting how it differs to what we're hearing from the COGTA Minister and, of course, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who herself has put her name forward in that race as we get closer to the elective conference in December.